They told you that retirement is the perfect time to see the world. And maybe you believe them. Maybe you even planned your dream trips, sunset cruises, cobblestone towns, bustling markets, mountain retreats, finally free from the rush of work and responsibility. But what if no one warned you about the hidden dangers that could be waiting just beyond the departure gate? What if behind every postcard-perfect destination, there lurked risks specifically dangerous for seniors? Risks that younger travelers would simply brush off, but that could change everything for you. Traveling after 70 isn't just about packing your bags and booking a ticket. It's about understanding what's truly at stake and what could go wrong if you don't prepare properly. This isn't to scare you. It's to protect you. Because you deserve the trip of a lifetime, not a lifetime of regrets after one trip. Imagine being in a foreign country where you don't speak the language and suddenly your medications run out, or worse, you collapse due to heat stroke in a place without immediate emergency access. You think it won't happen to you until it does. Until a quiet symptom turns into a crisis. Until your insurance policy doesn't cover the care you urgently need. These are the hidden dangers no one talks about when romanticizing senior travel. Everyone says, you've earned this, but no one says, here's how to do it safely. That changes now. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the 5 hidden dangers of traveling after 70 that every senior must know before they step onto that plane, board that cruise ship, or even plan their next road trip. And trust me, these aren't things you can afford to ignore. The first hidden danger is something most seniors don't consider until they're in the middle of it. Asterisk, asterisk, deep vein thrombosis, asterisk, asterisk, or DVT. It sounds like medical jargon, but what it really means is a silent, creeping blood clot that can form in your leg after long periods of sitting. Think long flights. Think lengthy bus tours. While it might not cause pain at first, if that clot travels to your lungs, it can become a pulmonary embolism, a life-threatening condition. Seniors are especially vulnerable because of changes in circulation, muscle tone, and previous health conditions like high blood pressure or diabetes. And while airlines may mention the importance of stretching your legs during long flights, they never tell you how urgent it is for older adults. DVT doesn't wait for you to reach your destination. It can start forming within hours. So what can you do? Compression socks aren't just a gimmick. They're a potential lifesaver. Frequent walking, hydration, and even pre-travel consultations with your doctor can reduce your risk significantly. But most people don't do any of this. They assume it's just a stiff leg, until it's not. The second danger hides beneath the excitement of exotic food and unfamiliar surroundings. Asterisk, asterisk, digestive disruption and dehydration, asterisk, asterisk. You might think a little stomach trouble won't kill me, but for someone over 70, it just might. The digestive system becomes more sensitive with age. And when you're eating local cuisine with spices or oils you're not used to, your body may not respond well. Even worse, many seniors are already slightly dehydrated before they travel, and flying only amplifies that risk. Add a day out in the sun, maybe skipping water in favor of local drinks, and suddenly you're dealing with serious consequences: confusion, dizziness, a fall, or worse, a hospital trip in a place where you don't even know the name of the nearest clinic. Think about it. Have you ever considered that the glass of wine you enjoy on vacation could be contributing to dangerous levels of dehydration? For seniors, even mild dehydration can lead to rapid declines in physical and mental performance. It's not just about drinking water, it's about understanding what your body can't handle anymore and why. The third hidden danger is the one that nobody wants to talk about, yet it affects thousands of older travelers every year. Asterisk, asterisk, falling and mobility-related accidents, asterisk, asterisk. It's easy to underestimate how uneven pavements, unfamiliar hotel layouts, or slippery cruise ship decks can put your body at risk. At home, you know your environment. You know where to step, where the rugs are, how high the stairs go. But abroad, everything changes. You could be walking down a street in Italy and suddenly find yourself tripping on an ancient cobblestone, breaking a hip, and being rushed to a local hospital that doesn't have English-speaking staff or the kind of care you're used to. And recovery? Much harder after 70. Some seniors never fully regain their mobility after a travel-related fall. Think about how that would change your life, not just your vacation, but every day afterward. That's why packing the right footwear, using walking aids without shame, and asking for assistance when you need it isn't just smart, it's essential. Traveling shouldn't mean gambling with your independence. And then there's the fourth hidden danger: mental confusion and cognitive disorientation, a risk that creeps up slowly but can cause terrifying consequences if left unchecked. You may call it jet lag or even temporary forgetfulness, but for seniors, especially those who may already have mild cognitive issues, the impact of unfamiliar environments, disrupted sleep cycles, foreign languages, and lack of routine can lead to something much more serious, a state called delirium. It may start with simple confusion, forgetting your hotel room number, or mixing up your medications. But quickly, it can become distressing with anxiety, paranoia, or even hallucinations. You may find yourself in a crowded market, unsure how you got there. You may mistrust the people trying to help. In some cases, people have been reported missing simply because they wandered off, lost in a city they didn't know, unable to recall their own name. And this doesn't just affect those with dementia. It can happen to anyone under the right mix of stress, poor sleep, dehydration, and sensory overload. Traveling exposes your brain to a flood of new information, and after 70, your brain might not be able to sort and store it all as easily as it once did. If you've never heard of travel-induced cognitive fatigue, it's time to take it seriously. Travel with a companion. Write down important details and keep them in your pocket. Have regular check-ins. It could mean the difference between a safe adventure and a terrifying episode that derails your entire journey. The fifth and final hidden danger might be the most overlooked, yet it has long-term emotional and psychological consequences. Feeling socially isolated or emotionally overwhelmed in the middle of a trip. That might sound contradictory. After all, aren't trips supposed to be joyful, full of connection and excitement? But imagine this. You arrive at your dream destination, surrounded by young, energetic tourists snapping selfies and speaking a language you don't understand. The group tour moves too fast. No one waits for you to catch your breath. You find yourself alone at breakfast, everyone else off to hike or shop or dance the night away. Suddenly, what was meant to be a fun experience becomes a reminder of your limitations, of your aging body, of your loneliness. Seniors often feel invisible in travel groups. Staff may talk around them, not to them. Activities may not be tailored to their pace or needs. And without a supportive travel companion or a senior-friendly itinerary, the emotional toll can be heavier than expected. You might return from your trip not refreshed, but disheartened. And that's something no one warns you about. The way travel can reflect your changing reality, not escape it. This doesn't mean you shouldn't travel. It means you must plan differently. Choose senior-focused tours, set realistic expectations, and prioritize your comfort, not someone else's schedule. And let's be honest, this isn't just about danger. This is about dignity, the right to travel safely, with full awareness of what your body, mind, and emotions can handle. It's about empowerment. Knowing the risks is what gives you the power to manage them, to travel smarter, to enjoy more and worry less. Because when you prepare for the hidden dangers, you unlock the full joy of seeing new places, meeting new people, and making memories that actually feel good, not ones you'll regret. Now that we've uncovered these 5 hidden dangers, deep vein thrombosis, digestive disruption and dehydration, falls and mobility accidents, cognitive confusion, and emotional isolation, it's time to go deeper. Because awareness alone isn't enough. What you need now are tools. Real, practical ways to travel after 70 with strength, clarity, and confidence. Let's start with travel insurance. It sounds boring, maybe even unnecessary, especially if you've never used it before. But at your age, it's not optional. You must look for a plan that covers pre-existing conditions, offers emergency evacuation, and includes travel delay protections. Don't assume your regular health insurance covers you abroad. In most cases, it doesn't. You need supplemental coverage tailored for seniors. Call providers. Ask questions. Read the fine print. Too many older travelers get caught in foreign hospitals with massive bills and no way to pay because they assumed coverage was automatic. It's not. Protect yourself now, before you board the plane. Then, there's medication management. Never pack your pills loosely in a suitcase. Bring them in clearly labeled containers, preferably with a copy of your prescription. Take extras, at least a week's worth beyond your planned return date, in case of delays. Keep them in your carry-on. Don't rely on finding your medications abroad. Many drugs go by different names or are unavailable altogether. And use a simple checklist or smartphone app to ensure you take them on time, even when your schedule changes. This might seem excessive, but your body relies on consistency, especially when in a new environment. When it comes to hydration and nutrition, pack wisely. Always have a refillable water bottle. Bring snacks that are easy on your stomach, plain crackers, granola bars, or instant oatmeal. Try to stick to familiar foods when possible, at least for your first few days. And when trying something new, take small portions. Avoid street food in areas where hygiene is questionable, no matter how delicious it smells. Your immune system isn't what it once was, and foodborne illnesses can be devastating after 70. For physical safety, invest in travel gear designed for seniors. This includes walking sticks, foldable stools, easy lift luggage, and shoes with strong grip soles. Don't view these as signs of weakness. View them as signs of wisdom. They help you move with confidence, not caution. Request ground floor hotel rooms if you struggle with stairs. Ask for assistance at airports. Most countries offer mobility support. You just have to ask. And please, never travel completely alone if your health is fragile. Bring someone you trust. A companion can be your eyes, ears, and emergency contact. Even better if they're familiar with your medical history. If you must travel solo, leave detailed travel plans with someone back home and check in daily via phone or email. Technology can be your best friend. GPS trackers, medical alert bracelets, translator apps, and telehealth access all create a safety net. Now let's talk mindset. Because traveling after 70 isn't just about logistics. It's also about courage and honesty. You have to know your limits without shame. You have to redefine what adventure means. Maybe it's not hiking to a summit anymore. It's strolling through a botanical garden and sipping tea with strangers. Maybe it's not jumping off a boat. It's watching the ocean while journaling about your life. There is no wrong way to travel, only unsafe ways. So choose joy. Choose safety. Choose experiences that nourish you, not exhaust you. We've peeled back the surface and exposed the hidden dangers. Now let's dive deeper into the stories, the emotional toll, the quiet bravery of seniors who face these risks and what they learned. Because behind every statistic is a real human being who boarded a plane with a suitcase full of hope and came back with an experience they never expected. Some triumphant, some harrowing. These lessons aren't meant to scare, they're meant to guide. Because you deserve to travel not just freely, but fearlessly. Picture Margaret, 74-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. She was always adventurous, visited over 20 countries in her youth. So when her children gifted her a surprise cruise to the Mediterranean, she was overjoyed. But midway through the trip, during a tour in Santorini, she slipped on a marble step. No one noticed at first, The tour group was bustling forward. She fractured her hip. There was no ambulance nearby, only a local van that took her to a small clinic. She didn't speak the language. The x-ray machine was broken. She spent 18 hours in a chair before finally being airlifted to Athens. Her travel insurance? Incomplete. Her family couldn't reach her. Margaret recovered eventually, but she spent months in physical therapy and thousands in unplanned expenses. She now speaks openly to other seniors. It's not about being cautious, it's about being wise. We don't bounce back the same way we did at 40. And then there's Ronald, 78, a widower who took his first solo trip since losing his wife. He flew to Thailand, hoping to rediscover his spark. What he didn't expect was the mental fog that set in halfway through his second week. He couldn't remember the name of his hotel. His phone battery was dead. Locals couldn't understand him. Panic set in. He wandered for hours before a kind stranger helped. It turned out Ronald was experiencing travel-induced delirium, exacerbated by heat, dehydration, and jet lag. A condition that's rarely discussed, but frighteningly common. I felt like I was losing my mind, he later admitted. I never thought my brain could betray me just because I flew to another country. These aren't rare, dramatic tales. They're real, repeated far too often, simply because most seniors don't have access to the right information or preparation. And yet, many travelers over 70 do find joy, renewal, and adventure because they planned for it, because they respected their body, honored their limits, and leaned into safety without sacrificing wonder. How do you become one of them? Start with your health. Not just a checkup, but a pre-travel medical consultation. Make sure your vaccines are current, especially for destinations where hepatitis, yellow fever, or typhoid are common. Ask your doctor how altitude, humidity, or long flights may affect your heart, your joints, or your medications. Get a printed summary of your health history to carry with you, preferably translated into the language of your destination. And make sure someone else on the trip, whether a travel companion or tour guide, has access to that information in an emergency. Then, customize your itinerary for stamina, not speed. That means building in rest days. That means avoiding overnight flights or multiple countries in a week. It's okay to want to see everything, but you don't have to do it all at once. Choose quality over quantity. One city, deeply explored, is often more fulfilling than 5 cities rushed through, and your body will thank you. Energy after 70 is precious. It's like a bank account. Spend it slowly, spend it wisely, and always research your destination's senior friendliness. Does it have clean public restrooms? Reliable transportation? Safe sidewalks? Are there accommodations for mobility issues? Can you access medical help quickly if needed? Does your hotel have an elevator, or will you be expected to climb stairs with luggage? These small details become major stressors when ignored. Read reviews from other older travelers. Reach out to local tour operators who specialize in senior travel. They exist, and they care. Let's also talk about the emotional landscape of travel. Because as exciting as it is to board a plane or step onto a cruise, it can also trigger grief, fear, and self-doubt. Travel forces you out of routine. It reminds you of who's no longer with you. It reveals how much your body has changed. It can even make you feel like a burden, especially if you need extra time or assistance. But here's the truth. Needing help doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. You're allowed to move slower. You're allowed to sit out that steep hike or ask for a wheelchair. You're not less worthy of the experience. In fact, your perspective, seasoned, wise, grateful, is what makes travel more beautiful. Take time each day to reflect. Bring a travel journal. Write what you see, how you feel, who you meet. These little moments may seem small now, but they become the treasures of memory later. And they can remind you, when you're home again, that you were brave. that you didn't let fear win. And if you ever feel overwhelmed while traveling, if the crowd is too loud, the walk too long, the room too hot, stop. Breathe. Find shade. Sip water. Rest. You're not in a race. You're in a chapter of your life where joy comes not from chasing the horizon, but from watching the sun set slowly with peace in your heart. Now, let's get practical again. Your phone is more than a camera. It's your lifeline. Load it with travel apps, like a translator, offline maps, medication reminders, emergency contacts, and the contact information of your embassy or consulate. Take photos of your passport, travel insurance, itinerary, and prescriptions. Keep digital and printed copies. Consider using a medical ID app that can display critical health info even if your phone is locked. These are tools that give you freedom, not limitation. And let's not forget one of the most basic but most ignored risks: fatigue. Fatigue leads to mistakes. It leads to skipped meals, forgotten pills, careless steps. The body over 70 needs more time to recover from stimulation, motion, and time zone changes. If you push through every activity just to get your money's worth, you're robbing yourself of the real value, your well-being. Listen to your body. If it says nap, nap. If it says sit and watch instead of walk, sit and watch. Presence is more powerful than pace.